It's not Flapples to Appletons. It's close to Carvana's against Humantines. It's Cars against Humanity. Each round has 5 question cards with a spot to fill in the blank with a Pokemon. Each round, my friends will receive 6 random Pokemon they can choose to play for that question, just like cards in their hand. Limited options means strange and silly answers each question. The argument may be simple or difficult as to why their Pokemon deserves to win the point, but no answer is a wrong answer. Round 1, boys. Time for your first set of Pokemon.
Oh boy, I kind of like this lineup.
You have no idea what the questions are either, so you really don't know how to cheat this one. You have no idea if you're saving them for the right question, if you're going to miss out on the right question. It's juicy. Okay.
Oh yeah, well, I got 6 Pikachus.
It's going to be that'd be great. Your first question. This Pokemon definitely peaked in high school. Okay, I got the answers for this question. Peter, go ahead, make your case.
All right, so I am submitting Regice. I think he's a pretty cool boy. If you look at the picture that I just sent you, Zane, you can tell that he's ready for school. As we know, Gen 3 was the peak of when we were in high school around that time. There have been a lot of legendaries that have come and gone, and he really hasn't been that good since. So I'm definitely going to be locking in Regice for that reason.
Fair.
Okay, I see your argument. Josh, go ahead, make your case.
So I submitted Sock. Now, the reason why I submitted Sock is because this Pokemon is that kid that decides he is the best in class when he's finally earned his black belt, and once he leaves high school, there is nothing more to show but a flashy flying kick and the fact that he is very well disciplined.
I want to say that I don't know what you're talking about, but I definitely just got a memory rushing back to me of I do know a kid from high school that definitely bragged about having gotten a black belt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Will, go ahead and make your case.
Okay, I chose Farigiraf because I feel like when you're in high school, it's more acceptable to wear the animal hoodies, but he's grown up and has a real job and still refuses to take them off. And it's just embarrassing at this point.
Yes.
I can definitely see it with the hoodie. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, the animal hoodies. Oh, I did not
He's kind of like a furry light, but a Pokemon version.
Oh, goodness. Dang, these are really good reasonings right off the bat. As much as I like the argument for the black belt, because I do see it and I do remember it, and as much as I like the argument for the school kid Regice, and he did look very ready for school, I'm gonna have to give this one to Will because I think you nailed it on the head with the wearing the animal hoodies way too long past and that really selling the vibe.
Fair.
Yeah, he for sure works at a game store and still says hello fellow children when the Pokemon kids walk in,
Question number 1 is done, but that does also mean that you're down a Pokemon to use for the rest of the round, so it's gonna get tougher and it's gonna get sillier. Question number 2. This Pokemon would be the worst thing to see when you lift up the toilet seat.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right, I got all the answers. Peter, go ahead, state your case.
I'm starting this one off? Okay. Listen, I've had a long day at work. I am rushing home. I have really got to use the bathroom. I am lifting up that toilet lid, and there's a large, spiky pile of rocks, also known as Gigglin, sitting under there. My toilet bowl is smashed, the seat is prickly, and I am not going to have a good time over the next couple minutes there.
That's a hard bowel movement, yeah, for sure.
Someone's gonna need an ice pack.
Yeah.
That's brutal. Will, go ahead and state your case.
I did Nidoran F. I would sit, and I feel like the pose, the Nidoran F, is kind of looking up with those big chompers and just looking like it wants a piece of the forbidden fruit.
Oh, no.
Just is the worst sort of idea. I'd miss it, and then you get the snake bite on the jewels or something. That's the thought that I get.
The double trouble. Oh, goodness gracious. And Josh, go ahead, make your case.
So I submitted Xurkitree.
Oh.
And so, as you can see, it's just a what the heck. So no matter what appendage or part of this monstrosity you see sticking out of that toilet bowl, whether you are rushing home, don't check and sit on the spiky head, or you see this nasty tendrily beast just ready for you.
Not to mention that it's electricity.
Yeah, that is some toaster in the bathtub energy right there. there.
Oh, I'm loving this already. So we have pain with Peter, we have death with Josh, and we have double trouble with Will. All right. As much as I want to pick Nidoran for the double trouble, as much as I want to, and also circuitry makes a lot of sense here because death. So, but being honest, the giant amount of spiky rock situation with Gigalith would destroy me.
Oh, let's go.
Because truthfully, from how much he would be crammed in there, and the second that he pops up, I can at least kind of try and avoid this wet wire wiggling around in my toilet, and I can try and avoid the nibbles from Nidoran. But Gigalith...
Oh gosh, are you sitting on the toilet saying that you'd try to avoid it? I'd go somewhere, dude, I'd go to the gas station. I'd be out of there. I'd be like, I'm not pooping here.
The gas station restroom is a much better alternative to all three options.
I agree.
Completely agree.
But yes, I'm giving this one to Gigalith. Question number 3. How could I possibly have a bad night when I have this Pokemon to cuddle up with? Keep it PG-13.
PG-13?
Oh no.
13.
Wow, you're giving me a lot of wiggle room here.
Keep
You're
it
allowed one F
keep
word
it
in
E10, please. Like how Shadow the Hedgehog says damn in Shadow the Hedgehog. All answers in. Peter, go ahead and state your case.
I'm submitting Frostlass.
Goodness gracious.
We're grabbing some pasta. We're grabbing some pasta, then we're gonna chill back at her
Brother.
place.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Will, state your case.
Okay, I chose Sneasel.
Oh gosh.
Reminds me of several of my exes, Cold and Evil.
Oh my, okay.
Just a little familiarity there.
You can't have a bad night because you're cuddling with something that reminds you of your cold, evil several exes.
That is correct.
And Josh, state your case.
Okay, so I went the cute route.
Yeah.
I submitted this little guy here. Yeah, Chimicho. How do you say it? Is that how you say it?
Chimecho.
Chimecho?
Chimecho?
Chimecho.
Chime Echo?
Yeah.
Okay,
Chime
sweet.
Cho.
It's not
Chimicho?
Chimicho.
It's Chimcho.
It's not.
I'm sorry. Okay, well anyway. I
call
just
it
thought
Chimicho.
it looked really cute, and it floats around, and it looks so nice, and it has like a little it has an attached blanket. I mean, come on.
I mean, that thing's gonna be ringing all night, though. Are you gonna be able to sleep through that?
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard sleep.
I forgot that Pokemon have zero control over themselves, Peter.
Well, if we're talking
Just like
Frostlass. Okay, honestly, I think I already have my decision, and I think, truthfully, that if I was kidnapped in ice by Frostlass or snuggling
it's
up with
voluntary.
something...
Oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Everything is consensual.
Sure, you're right.
Oh, stop.
But there are other handsome men in the room, if I'm not mistaken, knowing
that a
Frost. And as much as I don't think my wife would be too happy about the idea of me snuggling something that reminds me of several of my exes.
Oh man.
Oh, you don't say.
Even though the ringing may keep me up at night, I can't deny the cuteness and the comfiness that comes with a chimicho, aka a chimecho. So I am going to give this point to Chimecho. I think it makes sense.
That's fair.
I think you guys made good arguments for your other situations. Okay, question number 4. Snomboss is recruiting new Pokemon to work for him, and I think this Pokemon would be a very sneaky choice.
Man, I just chose Sneasel.
Oh shoot. Wait, that would have been so good.
Okay, I got all the answers. Will, go ahead and state your case.
I was hoping that I would get a question like this because Nickit is thirsty for crime.
I believe it. I do believe
I got
it.
a good one. I need no further explanation.
Thirsty for crime, end of sentence.
Heck yeah.
Thirsty for crime.
Period. Josh, go ahead and state your case.
All right, so mine, I am submitting Bergmite.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm submitting Bergmite is because this little fellow would make a wonderful disguise. And don't at me about how big glasses really are, because it depends on who's holding it. But this little guy would make a wonderful disguise as an ice cube in a drink.
Okay.
So
It's like a
you
top
just
tier
stick the little
crony.
guy in there, and
It looks like
and
such a good crony, like the guy who just repeats everything after the boss says it.
exactly. so he goes in there. You go. Oh, hey, here, take this wonderful glass of punch. And then while they're giving away all their secret plans, the little guy's sitting in there floating in the drink, just listening and soaking up all them secrets.
He's also repeating everything after they say it. They're like, "Oh yeah,
The double trouble."
did this," and they're like, "Yeah, they did this." And I said, "Is that the Ice Cube?"
Yeah.
Ice Cube should say that.
I love the double trouble from Bergmite. I know I'm not going to incorporate this into the theory, but I do like the idea of him floating in the bowl of punch at 3 feet and 200 pounds. And thinking that he's hidden in the punch. And Peter, go ahead and state your case.
All right. Well, I'm submitting Fampy because we got a bunch of cute little boys, right? We got a bunch of cute little guys, unsuspecting, and not only that, but he's ready to roll out on a moment's notice at the beck and call of Snomboss. He flies under the radar because he's unsuspectingly maniacal in his core.
It is for sure a sneaky choice. I like the argument all around. I like the idea of Fampy being cute and unsuspecting, and I also love the idea of Nickit being born, what was it, thirsty for crime?
Yeah, starving, thirsty for crime.
Starving, thirsty for crime, but I cannot get the mix of both of them in Bergmite out of my head with him being literally thirsty for crime while he sits in that bowl of punch and being just a loyal, humble servant.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, dude.
I'm giving this one to Bergmite.
My little buddy, the punch spy.
Go sit in the punch bowl. Yeah, gonna go sit in the punch bowl, boss.
Slam!
Yeah, sit in the punch bowl.
Shattered glass.
I got it, boss. I'm listening.
They're trying to move the table out. The waiters are trying to cart the punch bowl out in there. Why do we need 6 guys on this? And your final question of the round, with the 2 options you have left. If I saw this Pokemon burying a body in my backyard, I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I stop them. That's what I like to hear. All right, I got all the answers. Will, go ahead and state your case.
Oh, sure. I think I chose Ralts. Yeah. I don't know. Ralts is like a small psychic child in a nightie that I've never seen the eyes of. I feel like they're the villain in most of the horror movies I've watched, or at least they're the possessed children that do the crime. I would not stop them.
That's very fair. Peter, go ahead and state your case.
So imagine with me, if you will, I am a medieval peasant, and I've just acquired a huge tract of land, okay?
What is this context?
And, land is very hard to get in these medieval days.
Yes.
You know,
Where are we
it wasn't
going?
easy to get it from the king. And what do you know? I've got this big old cave in my backyard where this annoying Drudigan lives. And every once in a while, the king sends in knights to go try to take him out, and they always fail. So I always see that big boy in the backyard burying those corpses. And, there's nothing that I can do about it if those knights can't. So I just got to live and deal with my Drudigan-infested plot of land.
Well done on building a case for your Pokemon. Jeez Louise. Josh, go ahead and state your case.
I chose the Pokemon Meowscarada. Rada? I don't know. It's Masquerade. It's Masquerade, so I'm going with Meowscarada. Imagine yourself. You go out in your backyard, and you're pleasantly surprised this Pokemon is putting on a play for you. And at one point in the play, it kills its evil villain and then buries it. But then it leaves it at one point, and you wonder, is it going to dig that body back up? But you shrug your shoulders, go back in, because you enjoyed a great show.
Wow. I like the vaudevillian approach of you think that it's all an act, but really it's like a Sweeney Todd style. I like the charade. If I don't just go with my gut on these, it's going to be impossible to choose because I do love all of them and I love all the stories. So I'm just going to go with my gut. I love the vaudevillian act of Masquerada, and I love the storyline of the dragon burying bodies in the backyard. Those are 2 gorgeous stories. But I can't unsee me looking out into my backyard and seeing this small little child putting a body in a hole and slowly seeing that eye-covered head turn my way, and just knowing in my head, both of us looking at each other like, yeah, go ahead, do your thing. I'm not going to intervene with this. They give me big, the kid looking away from the house burning down meme vibes. And once you've thought that way about Ralts, you can't unthink that way about Ralts, and you're not going to get in between them and their actions. So I am going to give that one to Ralts. Just for update, round 1 winner was a tie between Will and Josh. On to round 2, you may generate yourself a new deck of cards.
Oh boy, this is
Yes!
awful. Oh, can we get the toilet question again?
Oh no.
Question again.
All right, question 1. Nobody would ever be sad again if this Pokemon ruled over society.
Oh, just give me 1 second.
Oh, I'm excited for the reasonings on these ones. Josh, go ahead and state your case.
So, my Pokemon is the cute little Igglybuff that smells wonderful, can't stop bouncing when it starts, and loves to practice its little singing voice.
So the real question is, by the time that he becomes a king, has he started bouncing?
Then they're wonderful at singing, because here, get this Pokemon, no matter what's going on, I mean, society could be burning down, but when you look to your fearless leader, Igglybuff, as it practices its little singing voice, it says with praise and encouragement, it gets better at singing little by little. So not only is it a cute icon for your country, but it gives everyone a common goal to help this little guy become the best singer in town.
It's a very happily run society under Igglybuff's bouncy reign. Peter, go ahead and make your case.
You need a glorious leader for this country. Something that everyone's going to look up to. Something with eons of knowledge and a fiery passion for the country. And what better creature to rule over the lands than the majestic, eternal Phoenix? That is why I am submitting Moltres.
Wow.
Because he will take over the kingdom and he will rule it for millennium with how he can just die and be reborn in the flames.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. A ruler that even if they go down, they'll rise back up. That is empowering for a society.
Exactly. There's nothing people love more, Peter, than the same ruler for eons.
They weren't allowed to be sad ever again. He kept on coming back.
And Will, go ahead, state your case.
Wonderful. When you first take a look at Embor, you might think to yourself, he seems like he's a bit gruff, like he has a hard exterior. Deep down, past those hard politics and incredibly controversial takes, he actually is a very kind and father-like figure towards an unfathered nation.
Sure.
He has a heart of gold underneath those flames and claws.
Sure.
He's a good dude, is what I'm saying.
He's a good dude who gives off good vibes. Going with my gut here, I like the reasoning for all of them. The parent to the children. I understand.
To the unfathered.
Yes.
You forgot that.
A father to the unfathered.
Yes, that's correct. Father to the unfathered.
And I understand that as awesome as it would be to have a ruler that can never die, which people would be thrilled about.
Are we going to King Igglybuff here?
Yes!
A town that has Igglybuff as a ruler could quite literally never be sad. Just looking at that little thing bounce for eternity, and all it can do in its free time is sing and get better at singing if you tell him you're doing such a good job. I'm going to pick Igglybuff on this one.
Yeah. I was just like, I wonder what Embor's Pokedex is, and I love it. It says, the direr the situation, the more it seems to enjoy itself. So I could see Embor plunging society into terror so that it could enjoy itself.
So it's happier.
No, he's a father to the fatherless.
I was going to say Embor gives me big Henry VIII vibes.
Exact. Wait, is that good?
That's not great.
Hold on, Zane, explain.
No, wait.
What did he mean by this?
Embor and his 6 wives.
Oh, he killed the wives? No, that's not him. He wouldn't do that. He has a heart of gold.
Do you have a father? Yes. Executed. I only father the unfathered.
I only father the fatherless.
All right, next question. I wish instead of money, we all used this Pokemon as currency.
Oh.
What?
All right, all answers are in. Will, go ahead and state your case.
Mine's easy enough. Our new currency will be the Sawsbuck. That'll cost you 20 Sawsbucks, please. That'll be 19 Sawsbucks and 86 hundredths of a Sawsbuck.
There is no sense. There are only fractions of Sawsbucks.
No, it's only Sawsbucks. It's just really hard fractions. But everything is now in Sawsbucks.
And are we talking that they are now the face of currency, or that we are handing over that many physical Sawsbuck?
My understanding was that you are handing over that many Sawsbucks.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, I just just carry herds with me to show off how wealthy I am. It's
Does
like a
their
grill,
value
except a
change
herd.
with the seasons?
The stocks bucks market is fluctuating every now and then. Peter, go ahead and make your case.
All right. I think these days a lot of people are getting sick of paper currency. I think we need to go back to the silver, back to the gold, back to the straight metals that we used to keep in those banks and vaults. That's why I am submitting Beldum. And if I could also bring up shiny Beldum there for its silver body and gold prongs. Not only are these guys exclusively rare, being a pseudo-legendary, so they'll maintain their value, but they're also relatively small, psychic, so that you don't need to worry about carrying the weight of them.
What's the exchange rate between one Sawsbuck to one shiny Beldum?
Let me do some math here real quick. Okay, being generous, saying that Beldum is made of silver, which he's probably not, but his shiny looks silver. 209.9 pounds of silver is worth
Good grief.
about $272.58.
Okay, so
No,
200.
that can't be right. There's no way that 200 pounds of silver is like $200.
It is $272.58 per 1 pound.
Okay. I was like, wait.
Grand.
Beldum is 209, so...
Wait,
Okay.
did you say grand or Sawsbucks?
I do not
wasn't
accept
sure
your
what you were saying
currency.
there. You don't accept Sawsbucks?
There's no Sawsbuck to build
We
an
don't
exchange rate.
bucks. It's only Beldum or Amex here.
Oh, okay.
And Josh, please state your case.
This plays into the old trope that the customer is never right and that the stores can always rip them off. So just as back in the day they had weighted scales, in this world they have weighted rulers, and that's why I am submitting my little guy Metatite. And so Metatite currency is very it makes a lot of sense when you dig into it. This Pokemon only eats one berry a day, so it has very easy upkeep. And the currency is measured by how well trained it is because it levitates once it has focused its psychic energy. So the higher your Metatite floats, the more it is worth.
Josh, you brought up a good argument in there accidentally in the fact that some of this currency would have to be maintained and kept alive. And the idea of going to a store and being like, I was gonna pay 15 Sawsbucks, but I only this morning now have 10.
I didn't have enough Sawsbucks to pay for the food to upkeep my Sawsbucks.
It's a very
Sounds like a vicious cycle to keep people poor. You can't afford the berry. You can't give it to Metatite. Now you're poor again.
Hey, that's why it's only one
Classist
berry.
society.
That's why it's only one berry a day.
Going with my gut here, I understand. I love that you made an argument for Metatite, and I adore the idea of actually having to give people real-sized Sawsbucks per transaction. But I cannot deny the lucrative business that is Beldums.
Hell yeah,
I'm
Bellcoin is booming.
I'm gonna give this one to Beldum.
to the moon,
Bellcoin.
boys. I didn't even mention he looks like a rocket. We are going straight to the moon, boys.
Right.
Stop it, dude.
All right, next question. I want this Pokemon to be my father or mother.
Okay.
We've got a nice mixed bag on this question. Josh, go ahead, state your case.
All right. Well, given this is the only Pokemon that I really have that is an adult, I chose Beartic. I mean, look. First of all, look at that dad beard. Look at that dad bod. Look at those giant loving arms, willing to give you a giant bear hug when it's proud of you for hitting your first home run. This Pokemon would give you the best experience a father could possibly ask to give his children.
That's an adorable
I can
argument.
see it.
I love it. Will, go ahead, state your case.
Okay, mine is Marowak.
Yay!
Hey, this is because this is about being an emotionally healthy parent. Marowak is the evolved form of a Cubone that has overcome its sadness at the loss of its mother and grown tough. This Pokemon's tempered and hardened spirit is not easily broken. Therefore, it knows what loss is like, and it knows how to be a good parent since it never had one.
Dang. Okay.
Wow.
That's a strong-willed parent. And Peter, go ahead and make your case.
All right. Well, my Pokemon that I'm submitting is going to be Iron Valiant. You need a mom? They've got you covered. You need a dad? They've also got you covered.
Why?
Custom designed to be your protector. Not only do they have a busted type, but they are programmed full of futuristic techniques to make sure that you are raised to be the perfect child. The perfect being able to stand up for yourself, make making sure that bully doesn't beat you. And as soon as other kids see this as your parent, you're going to have the cool parent in your class.
Can't wait to have the emotionally detached parent to show my kid, my friends.
My emotionally detached robot parent that I got to custom make myself.
Your friends are saying, "This is so cool!" Meanwhile, at home, it has no care for your emotions, only how well you fight.
How many people did you kill today, son?
None.
Why can't we just
Idiot.
talk about our feelings?
Turning on feelings mode. I feel like you should tell me how many people you killed today, son.
Dad, Mom, Bot. Will you ever listen to how I feel?
Dad, Mom, Bot.
Dad, Mom, Bot. Mother, Father, Robot. Why don't you listen to me?
TM. All right, going with my gut. I would love getting a bear hug from a bear tick. That would be lovely. And I cannot deny that a Marowak would be like the best strong-willed parent that I could ask for. But I cannot deny the joy the thought of Dad, Mom, Bot is bringing.
No, you don't have a computer. You're welcome for that one.
And so I'm going to give that one to Iron Valiant. Next question. This Pokemon would run the finest restaurant.
Well, dang it, I already used M-Board, man.
No!
These are going to be some interesting arguments. Peter, go ahead, state your case.
I didn't have much of a choice with this one, but I am submitting Spinarak.
Oh, gosh.
There's one thing that you might know about Spinarak, and that's that he's a very early route mon. You find him right at the start of the game, right alongside with one of our friends, Chef Ratatouille. Not only did these two grow up on the same block, but as Chef Ratatouille says, anyone can cook. He's got all those legs, so you know that he can be putting in the work, whether it is by himself with all those pans or tugging the hair under the hat of a 5-star chef. He has learned the recipes from his neighborhood childhood friend growing up, and he is even making his own specialty dish, Spinner Ratatouille.
Wow.
You know what I'm going to say? Because of that last comment, Peter, I'm going to argue that this is like a Plankton and Mr. Krabs situation, where they used to be friends, and then Spinarak makes that trash spin-off dish, the chum bucket crap, dude.
The Spinarak Shack.
Spinarak Shack.
The Spinarak Shack. He's out here changing the opinions of spiders for everyone with his delicious dishes.
Wow, okay. Josh, go ahead, state your case.
My little Pokemon, again, probably going to butcher the way it's pronounced, but Meganium?
Yeah.
Whatever the heck you want to call it. This Pokemon, ooh, it already looks like one tasty dish in and of itself.
Now, wait a minute.
In a place but in a place where tensions are already high, where stress is just run amok within restaurants, back in the kitchen, whether it's in the kitchen or an angry customer, the scents flowing off this Pokemon will ease all your tensions and let you relax into that chair for the finest meal you'll have.
Interesting. There's some good ambiance set by this Pokemon at the restaurant. I get it. Will, go ahead, state your case.
I would like to welcome you to Great Husks, where we got every type of corn. We got grilled corn, we got boiled corn, we got cream corn, we got canned corn, we got grilled corn, we got buttered corn, we got roasted corn. We can make up whatever kind of corn you got otherwise.
Grilled corn?
Great Husks over at Great Husks.
Wow.
It's like a Kane situation.
Yep.
So your sale isn't even just like, wow, it'd be really good at building a restaurant.
He's also just really good at it, Zane. I don't know what to tell you.
He's so good, he has it. I'm proud of what all of you came up with here, because I can personally envision all of these restaurants right now. And when I envision them, I'll be honest to my gut, as much as I like the ambiance being set by Meganium, and as much as I like the rivalry between Chef Ratatouille and Spinarak, which I think my gut...
I like the corn guy.
I was leaning...
Fair, I didn't say the rivalry.
I know you didn't, but it's there.
You're welcome for that one, too.
Either way, I cannot get over the idea of amazing corn at Great Husks, because
I like it a lot.
I am a corn guy, and so for me, I'm sure he has the finest options of corn of all the land, and so I'm going to give this one to Great Tusk.
Yeah.
With that description, you deserve that one.
Final question of round 2. If I look up in the sky right now, I'd be the most terrified to see this Pokemon.
Gosh, this is such an easy lock-in for me, but it feels like too obvious.
Do I choose the bird or the not bird for this?
My favorite game to play in my spare time. I look out the window and I play bird or not bird.
Bird or not bird in the sky? I look up in the sky and I play, is bird or not bird?
I see cloud and I think to myself, not bird.
Not
Build
bird.
or not the build?
Good luck with your arguments, guys. Will, go ahead, state your case.
Okay, sure thing. My Pokemon is Blacephalon.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
pretty terrifying.
When
Yep.
Blacephalon was made, there was somebody at Pokemon who was like, we've made some Pokemon that could be a little scary sometimes in the right lighting. We created these different Ultra Beasts, and, we just need one more. I know they're all based on different, whatever, deadly sins or plagues or things like that, but what if we made one that actually just made people very, very unsettled, even just looking at a still picture of it? I think we should do that one. And maybe as we do that and we make it something that people are truly afraid of, clowns, we make it so that it slithers up to people and then its head explodes.
Oh, Will.
That's Blacephalon.
Will, but Blacephalon is the fireworks Pokemon. I don't think there's anything I'd like to look up at the night sky and see more.
Ooh.
Peter, I don't want this discourse. I don't like clowns.
Interesting argument.
I'm not willing to fight this. I don't like clowns.
Josh, go ahead and make your case.
This Pokemon right here, Frigibax. I would be terrified to see this little guy, and that's for multiple reasons. One, because one reason is because it looks like a child with Benjamin Buttons.
Right.
And two, when this little guy's flying in the air, you're going to have to wonder either A, it's going to land on you and it's going to be asking you for prune juice and Werther's caramels, or it's going to be asking you if you got games on your phone, and you're going to have to deal with that. And this little creature is going to be following you everywhere. So this little 37-pound terror will be just with you until the day you die.
It's a really good argument that I don't like either side of what I'd have to experience. And Peter, go ahead and make your case.
I'm submitting Pelipper because
boy.
this thing freaks me out just as it is. In the dark of night, look at those eyes. The big gaping mouth dive bombing you. In the dark, give it in less than a minute, you're going to end up like this. And that is a fate that would wish upon my worst enemy.
All right, going off my gut, I can totally see the terrifying nature of Pelipper in this photo. Absolutely. I cannot deny that there's good arguments on both sides for the fact that this creepy slither exploding clown is horrific to see falling out of the sky above me, but also does have quite literally a brighter side. Nevertheless, having to deal with either a toddler or a grandpa, 30-pound little thing dunking me on the head.
Truly.
And
that just chills your blood, doesn't it?
and then not knowing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
Nobody
gonna
likes a little hail.
that's
Right.
gonna rule my life. So I'm gonna give this one to Frigibax.
Yeah, you got games on your phone?
Frigibax.
Blind update on points. The winners of round 2 was a tie between Peter and Josh. Round 3, final round, boys. Generate yourself a new deck of cards one more time.
This is definitely my least favorite spread.
It's gonna be real juicy to see you argue for them. Final round, question number 1. Nobody would ever believe I managed to sneak this Pokemon past security.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys sound pretty
know
confident
exactly
right
what
off
I'm
the bat.
submitting.
Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, just start it off. Peter, go ahead and make your case.
All right. So the Pokemon that I somehow managed to sneak past security was, in fact, Iron Boulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the best part about this is I have no idea how I managed to sneak this past security. They had metal detectors up the wazoo. This thing does not fit in my pockets. It just rolled in there with me, and I didn't even get a weird look from security. They just let me walk right in.
Went through a metal
You can
detector, can't have pets on the plane.
Exactly, right? I'm waiting there at my gate, and everybody's giving me the side eye. They ask me, I don't even know how I got this thing in.
Will, go ahead, make your case.
So some would think that getting Groudon past security would be a hard task. But when when you get him a little apron and a bow tie and some glasses and the little goatee and mustache that's white, he looks an awful lot like Colonel Sanders. And I told them we thought it was a costume party. and he got let in. So,
Oh my goodness. Josh, go ahead and make your case.
So the reason why people can't believe that I snuck this thing past is because of the disguise I chose and because it can't walk. I chose Veluza. And this Pokemon, I mean, when I tell you people couldn't believe that security believed I had an 8-foot, 198-pound singing wallfish that sang, "Don't worry, be happy," they believed it. And boy, I tell you, it was the best disguise I could have chosen. And I had to carry it the whole way.
gosh darn it, Josh.
Well, you know,
I hate you. Don't worry, be happy. Wall mounted.
Holy cow. Going with my gut, as much as it makes total sense that Iron Boulder should have been caught every single step of the way through TSA, and as much as Groudon definitely does look like Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
The idea of an 8-foot wallfish.
198-pound.
198-pound, 8-foot Veluza.
That takes the cake to me. I'd have no idea how that got past anybody.
I don't want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy.
Next question. I stand atop the hills awaiting battle. Suddenly, in the distance, I see 100,000 of this Pokemon rapidly approaching. I'm screwed. Oh, I'm very ready for these arguments. Josh, go ahead and make your case.
All right, my case is for the very scary, very terrifying geriatric Parasect. I mean, just imagine they come up to you and one by one say, "Hey, Sonny, can you clean my dentures?" And you're sitting there and you have to clean 100,000 pairs of Parasect dentures because this guy and his Coke bottle glasses is not leaving until they are spick and span.
I did not expect the denture route with Parasect. Peter, go ahead and make your case.
All right, well, speaking of personality, my submission for this
Yes.
one is Hatenna.
Heck yeah.
Now, while they may look a little unsuspecting, with 100,000 of them running over the hill as you stand there ready for battle, that little antenna hat on their head is actually very susceptible to strong emotions. The fact that you are so prepared and so ready for battle is irradiating such a strong energy that is upsetting them. And if I could quote the Dex here, the moment this Pokemon finds someone who's emitting strong emotions, it will pummel them senseless to silence them. Now imagine 100,000 times.
Shut up.
Shut up. Are you sad? Shut up.
I could very happily say that I would be screwed there for sure.
I will say, Peter did alter a little bit of the Dex entry. If this Pokemon senses a strong emotion, it'll run away, Peter.
Didn't realize we were fact-checking.
Ooh.
Hey, go ahead, Peter. I don't lie.
All right, well, what dentures do Parasect have?
It's not. You want to fact check it and tell me they don't?
I think I can.
And Will, go ahead and make your case.
Okay, so speaking of forest fires, I have Litwick.
Holy crap.
Have you had 100,000 of these bad boys? You know a couple of them are falling over and starting some really, really nasty forest fires. So thank you, Peter, for mentioning forest fires a couple times.
Sure.
You got 100,000 of these Litwicks that are crawling towards you at a wax melting pace. They are for sure starting some nasty California forest fires that are going to make some devastation to some wildlife.
All good arguments, and as much as I like the argument, but maybe I'm screwed just by the fact that I have to now hear the argument of whether or not Hatenna does or does not pummel me. And then I also do hate the idea of having to clean 100,000 dentures. I am screwed task-wise for sure. The labor is daunting. The amount of fear that would rush over me as I am engulfed in a giant candle-lit fire. They don't even have to have lit the grass. If I'm in a circle of 100,000 Litwicks, I am going to fear for my life, and I know there is nothing I can do about it. So
That'd be really scary.
So I'm going to give this one to Litwick.
Yeah.
Next question. This Pokemon definitely lies on its dating profile.
Oh my.
before you guys even talk, I can see an argument for all of these, so I'm very excited. Will, go ahead and make your case.
Okie doke. I think the guy who would lie on his dating profile is Probopass.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he freaking would.
Yeah, Probopass the type of guy who asks where his hug at.
Oh, no.
Probopass the kind of dude who eats 2 gummy bears at a time so that they don't die alone.
Probopass is loaded with red flags. Peter, go ahead and make your case.
All right, so I need you to get in the right headspace with me. You're playing on your Game Boy when you're back in school as a kid, and you come across a Dunsparce, a cute little Dunsparce, and you think to yourself, hey, that looks pretty cool, but that's probably like a Magikarp scenario there, right? That probably evolves into some sort of really cool big dragon. Not only is it disappointing that we did not get a evolution for Dunsparce for years, and then they give you an extra Dunsparce, possibly the biggest letdown we have received in the entire Pokédex. And I'd like to specify that my generator here specifically says that this is 2-segment to Dunsparce, so he's probably also lying about being longer than he is on his profile.
Lying about height, number 1 red flag. Josh, go ahead and make your case.
All right, so this Pokemon writes its bio in third person because it thinks it's so cool and collected. Decidueye can knock an arrow and fire it at an enemy in 1/10 of a second, so its battles are decided in a blink of an eye. But when you sit down at that restaurant, you say, oh, he is everything I wished, and oh man, he's so cool and calm and collected. They come around and they say, what would you like to eat? And you're sitting there at dinner for an hour as it sits trying to decide which appetizer it wants, and you eventually just have to leave because this Pokemon is stunned.
Goodness gracious, it goes deep with Decidueye. Okay, going with my gut here. True thoughts, as painful as it would be to have to sit there for hours with Decidueye undeciding on an appetizer. And I'm gonna be honest, all these red flags about Probopass, but I don't think he's lying about them. I think he's just a problem.
Yeah, he does portray that energy.
He just tells the truth and says, I'm an idiot.
I think, to be fair, I think that Probopass is not hiding these facts about him.
Fair.
For that, I'm going to give it to the man who looks nothing like his profile picture in the Dunsparce. Whether he's 2 or 3 segmented, at this point, I don't know what to believe. Next question. I'm positive this Pokemon could have its own award-winning TV show. I gotta hear the reason behind these. Okay, Will, go ahead, state your case.
Welcome, guys, back to Downton Krabby.
Oh,
yes. No. Gross. This guy stinks.
The British historical drama
Downton
back in the
Krabby.
Yorkshire country estate where little Krabbit's father, King Lur, depicts the lives of the aristocratic Crawley family. It's won a bunch of awards already.
I can attest, this was once top the charts. Peter, go ahead, state your case.
All right, we got a new formula for you. Throughout all my TV watching days, I don't think there's a single channel that has brought me back time and time again more than the Food Network. Now, what if we take the stress out of that scenario, and we just have cute little puppies? Not only will they be helpful with making the dishes, but they're bringing along a cute face that will woo the audiences and bring them back.
Relaxing, background noise, adorable. What's there not to love? And Josh, go ahead and make your case.
There's nothing anybody loves more than taking a beloved movie, giving it a sequel, and making it a TV show that is nothing like its predecessor. And that's why I give you Gothita. Gothita is the star of the new hit show, The Seventh Sense, because Gothita is constantly observing Pokemon and trainers alike, but apparently looking at something only it can see. And not only is it not a thriller, but a comedy, they say, oh, Gothita, every time they look and they try to get its attention, but it won't look at them because it sees something nobody else can.
We've all heard of a TV show that we're like, really? This is getting the Emmy hype? Going with my gut here, even though it might win awards, it's definitely not in fan contention to be a favorite to win awards with Gothita's situation.
Give it to the crab.
And I have
If there's a show with crabs, you can count on me to tune right out.
And to be honest, I would watch the heck out of the Fido show, but I don't know if it would reach award-winning caliber So for that, I'm going to give it to the running infinitely, winning every award show, Downton Krabby, for this question.
Yeah.
It's okay. We all knew
so
Emmys
much.
were always rigged.
Final question, players. This Pokemon would be the worst thing to come across in a dark alley.
Gosh, I wish I had some.
The intimidation factor through the roof.
Oh.
Good luck to everybody on this last one. Will, go ahead and state your final case.
Okie doke. My argument for the worst Pokemon to come across in a dark alley would be Burmy. First off, he has great camouflage, so you don't see him until he's right up on you.
Wow.
And at the point where he holds the knife up to your spleen, you can see in his eyes that they give this 1,000-yard stare. They point in different directions. So you're not really sure if he's looking at you or if he's looking at the knife. He might be looking at both, but the eyes let you know that he is truly insane.
Wow, okay. He is fearless in trying to take down whoever he comes across.
He's just crazy.
I will say his leafy camouflage might stand out a bit in an alley where a trash cloak would be.
Well, I didn't get the trash cloak one, Peter. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Peter, go ahead and make your final case.
All right, I need you to imagine one of those creepy Victorian childs staring at you motionlessly with their big eyes from the end of the dark hallway.
Oh, I'd love
That is
not to.
exactly what you get when there is a BHM at the end of this alleyway. Not only are they not from this world, they speak in a language that no one can understand, and they lure in their prey with the rhythmic lights on their fingers. This is one of the few Pokemon that actually has multiple creepypastas written about it.
Everything, top to bottom, terrifying. I'm not going to hold this against you, but I do know that in the anime, BEM's voice sounds like BEM, which is anti-terrifying. But
That's weird, because the Pokédex says that they can't speak.
well, in the show,
Okay. Fair enough.
And Josh, make your final case.
So this little guy, Inkay, although very docile looking and sweet, it is one of Snom's most hated trash men, they call them, because they're the ones that you meet in the alley late at night when Snom wants to silence you so you can't be spreading any more ideals that maybe he doesn't agree with. And so the last thing that you hear is you see a little Inkay down the alleyway. You see 6 more emerge and you start to hear little snapping as if they're about to sing. And the last thing you hear is, try not to blink. Man, you really stink. Time for you to sink in the beating of our ink.
Wow.
And that's the last thing you hear.
I did not expect that once you're an Inkay, you're an Inkay out of you. West Side Story there. Going with my gut, I completely understand that being swarmed by a group of snapping Inkays would be terrifying. And
No, I get it.
And I also understand that a psychotic, crazed look Burmy would equally be as terrifying to run into. But I feel like I would be crazy not to pick BEM in this situation. I can hear the rage in Peter's voice. If I were to argue either of them was scarier than the nightmare manipulating creepypasta fuel that is BEM.
Josh's little song there was very intimidating.
It was incredibly
I like the
intimidating. So for an update, end of round 3, another tied win. This was between Peter and Will winning this round. So after
it's all tied up.
So after 3 rounds, we have a 3-way tie. We're going to do a tiebreaker, and since I didn't fully expect a tiebreaker, I'm going to make this just the rules right on the spot. Going off of how last questions have been going, generate yourself 2 new random Pokemon.
Oh.
You will get to choose from either of these 2 Pokemon for your tiebreaker. And Peter sounds
Shafted.
excited already.
I got screwed too,
these
man.
guys.
Your tiebreaker question, and I truly mean it when I say good luck to all of you. I'm going to convince you that this Pokemon has really been this Pokemon in disguise all along.
No.
One final good luck to everybody for the tiebreaker round. Josh, go ahead and state your case.
All right. Exhibit A, Camerupt. has always been Exhibit B, Onyx. And so the reason why is because, as you can see clearly on the back of camera, there's rocks. So what this Onyx has cleverly done for eons is just craft itself a very life-accurate camera-up disguise to where it shoves itself into and leaves the little rocks on top as saying, no, I'm a different Pokemon. And everyone was none the wiser.
Wow. Peter, go ahead and state your case.
All right.
Yeah.
You know him. You love him. It's a cute little Citadel. What a friendly little snowball boy. So round, isn't he?
Gosh, I hate his mouth.
Me too. I think it's terrible. I think it looks so stupid.
You know whose other mouth I really hate?
That's a wild segue.
Grimer.
No.
Now, you may be thinking, this sopping pile of ooze, how is he disguising himself? He's no Ditto. You may think that he's leaky, kind of puddling himself around, but actually, when he goes rolling around in the snow, it's sticking to him pretty well. And not only that, but like as he rolls down the hill, he's forming that ball shape.
I can absolutely see it. You pull it in with the snow sticking to him in the mouth comparison. And Will, go ahead and state your case.
Okie doke. So,
What do you got? Arceus was always Pikachu.
Good luck, man.
it's so stupid. Okay, so Mama and Papa Drapion, right?
Oh
boy.
Their baby Skorupi was a reckless child, and so they had to hire a babysitter, and they hired a Happiny to be the babysitter for a little Skorupi. And Skorupi's like, hey, let me get in that egg. And so he hopped in the egg, and he's been walking around as this little babysitter Happiny for little Skorupi, but actually, he's in that egg.
Wow.
Oh, well, I feel so bad for you.
He's in the egg. No. And I looked it up, and scorpions do not hatch from eggs, so I got that one wrong, too.
Well, it's also not an egg, but we'll let that one.
It's not an egg?
No, Happinis are too young for eggs. They carry around a little rock to mimic their mamas.
Oh, come on.
It's
a rock?
To everyone's
Perfectly white rock.
Yeah.
Okay, going off of my quick judgment, I mean, Will, you had a really solid case up until we found out that scorpions don't come from eggs, and that there was no
I
egg.
shouldn't have said that. I was wrong. They actually come from rocks.
Yeah, they do.
So actually, it makes a lot of sense, Zane. Take it back.
I'm Dex checking that.
No, please.
And as much as I love the argument because it was very well thought out, I'm going to have to give second place to the Citadel Grimer combo, meaning that I think that Onyx being disguised inside a camera-up outfit this whole time makes the most sense to me. Twist, I totally get it all coming together. I'm going to give this one to Josh.
Woo!
Congratulations, Josh, pulling it out in the tiebreaker. Are you ready to see your prize?
Give me the prize.
Josh, you won one free round-the-world trip on the Pidgey Yacht Club for 2.
Yes! And it looks like it includes a very long list of things that I may have to consider while taking the trip.
Oh no, are you saying... Okay, fine. Well, since you pointed it out, I'll read the text. As a disclaimer, those who fear heights may want to reconsider, as pitch yachts known to carry the yacht upwards of 6,000 feet in the air. The boat is also definitely not leveled. Slipping and sliding will occur most often, so take note of any turbulence that may head your way. Those who fear falling from the sky may also want to reconsider, as the leash attached to Pidgeot has been known to snap, sending the ship hurling back towards, hopefully, the ocean underneath, as long as the Pidgeot hasn't gone rogue, which has also happened time to time. The ship does sit level in the water when docked at destinations, however. During that time, why not try out the putt-putt course on the top deck, or take this time to buy a harness from the ship's gift shop to ensure your safety during Pidgeot's next expected, or very likely unexpected takeoff.
I hate my prize. I don't want to go.
Congratulations.
I don't want to go.
Congratulations, Josh. It's time for you to get on a boat that's being dragged by the neck of a
Josh,
bird.
you don't want
Let me stay home.
Josh, you don't want to go. You give those 2 tickets to Will and I. We'll happily go on a little trip.
No. I had to kill myself for my 2 friends.
No, you just.
It also says that it races through the sky at Mach 2 speed. Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine going that fast while being dragged in a yacht in the sky.